So right now, in terms of inhalation methods, you're mostly going to find flower, vaporizable flower, and vape pens.
The vape pens, though, are recipes, right?
That's right.
They're THC and other cannabinoids in there.
Sometimes, and sometimes they're just THC with terpenes.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the goal would be, first, let's build out that. So let's create, Dragonfly, for example, has a CBD THC vape pen,
Okay.
right? Well, let's create some CBG THC vape pens. Let's create a tincture, to your point, of a 1 THC, 1 CBD, 1 CBG.
Great for pain, great for inflammation.
And I would pair that
for the psychoactivity with the CBD.
And I would pair that with Delta 9, right? Because I do want it to be more of a little bit of a head change and excitement. Yeah. Whereas CBN, where I'm trying to knock down anxiety, I wouldn't go with heavy Delta 9. I would go with Delta 8 because it's more of a body high, so you won't have the same head change. And so formulating specifically around those means you have to have somebody who's qualified to take this little plant, pull out everything, and then put it back into combinations that are useful.
We need this. Thanks for the hard work. I mean, we're talking about patients. You know, we talk to people every day, and, you know, we get that there's so much more to be done with the plant now. And seems like there was quite a bit lost.
Yep.
Okay, Blake, back to this endocannabinoid system and what we didn't learn in school.
Yep.
Teach us a little bit about the system itself, because we know that humans have the system. We know that other animals have it. I think all animals have an endocannabinoid system.
At least mammals.
At least all mammals have it. And
maybe others, but no studies. I haven't seen any studies.
So we know it does certain things. We know it affects different homeostasis in the body. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, so CBG, how does it actually affect inflammation? It actually is going into the central nervous system and affecting a pain agonist. So when you stub your toe, for example, you send this pain signal, goes up to the brain, and the brain doesn't necessarily immediately interpret that I stubbed my toe. Oh no, we're dying. Send an immune response. We need epinephrine. We need to have some adrenaline. We need to be able to run or fight. Like we're fighting for our lives right here, right? Yes. And then your brain can process, well, I stubbed my toe, but all of a sudden those signals have already been sent.
Sure.
So your body starts ramping up, your peroxisomes to produce histamine. It starts doing these responses, right? Well, so CBG actually goes in and inhibits an over signal. It inhibits the ability for your body to freak out and say, I'm dying. Instead, all of a sudden it's like, no, it's okay, relax. I mean, this is the craziest thing. When we talk about THC and people who we'd call traditional users who are like, hey man, just chill down, right? What cannabinoids mostly do in the endocannabinoid receptor system is they chill down body responses that happen. So if I'm having a pain response, my body no longer interprets that I'm dying and I have to fight or flight. It just says, look, you stubbed your toe. Things are cool. We don't need to have your heart racing 1,000,000 miles a minute. We don't need to send epinephrine through your whole system, right?
I describe this with patients as the difference between pain control and suffering control.
Yep.
So when you talk about pain, you talk about with patients, you talk about there's pain and then there's suffering. And, I heard this originally from Dr. Corey Andon in Ogden, who describes it this way. And cannabis is really good at controlling the suffering. And it sounds like that's the endocannabinoid system.
Yeah.
Chilling out. It doesn't necessarily make my toothache go away.
That's right.
Or my back pain go away.
That's right.
But it certainly makes me able to go along with my day and do the things I need to do.
Yeah. And part of that is because you're inhibiting how much pain signal's coming out. So again, I got in a car wreck. I shattered my thigh bone, right? And so all the nerves around there will fire, and it'll fire maybe forever, depending on what the damage is. So THC is going to go in, stimulate dopamine. So now I'm a little high. I don't worry as much about the pain, and the whole system kind of gets just tapped down a little bit. And so you're doing better, right? which is valuable, which is extremely valuable.
Yeah.
But then,
Compared to opioids, especially.
that's right. So then you look at all the other cannabinoids, they do similar effects, but more specifically for pain or anxiety or inflammation or nerve damage. There's evidence that there's a certain cannabinoid that helps with nerve damage. And so that's where we start getting into, we're no longer just doing suffering management. We're actually now getting into actual physical management and fixing issues. That's
So
right.
what I've learned today really is a lot about the endocannabinoid system. That, there's different cannabinoids other than THC and CBD, such as CBN, which helps with anxiety, can help with anxiety, can help people relax and sleep better.
Yep.
CBG, which is somewhat anti-inflammatory and can really help with pain in the right levels.
Yep.
We've talked a little bit about CBD before and how that is a kind of a modulator of the whole system. And of course, THC, which works on the receptor system 1.
Yep.
And really tamps down the whole process, gives you that little head change.
Yep.
And is part of the whole puzzle.
Yep.